Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the Happiest Cast on Earth, the show where we review anything and everything that was somehow released by the Walt Disney Corporation. I'm your host, as always, Ryan Johnson. Joining me today is the lovely Rosa. Hello there, Rosa. How are you doing today?
Hi, Ryan. I'm doing good today. How are you?
I'm doing quite fine because this show, this week, we are doing our very first Halloween episode of the Happiest Cast on Earth. So I guess you could say for the next 5 weeks, it's the spookiest cast on Earth. Ooh. Or if we're keeping with the Disney theme, the not-so-scariest cast on Earth. So, Rosa, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What's your major? How's life? Stuff like that.
Okay. So, I have grown up on this campus, on Concord University's campus. I'm a nursing major. I'm a junior. I'm from Princeton. My whole family has worked at Concord. Life's going pretty good, a little stressful right now as we're entering midterm week. I'm also an RA in the dorms, so that just adds to my workload. But other than that, things are going pretty good.
That's nice to hear. Plus, I can imagine that, things are also kind of getting stressful because, homecoming starts on Monday.
Yes.
So that's definitely going to be a lot on all of our plates because, I feel like if you take 10 Concord students at random, I bet you at least half of them are involved in an organization.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you in any organizations?
Currently no. I just do choir. My job takes a lot of my time. And then the Society of Nursing Majors. We only meet once a month, so.
Yeah, and they ain't running, so, for homecoming, so that's not a whole lot you can do there. But, yeah, anyways, to kick things off with our first ever Halloween-themed episode of the Happiest Cast on Earth, we have this semi-dark comedy that was released in theaters last year. And the funny thing about this movie is that we cannot say the name of it on air. It has a very noticeable swear at the end of the title. And so, for the sake of us not getting sued, we're just going to call the movie Nightdog for easy sakes. So, Rosa, I have to ask, have you seen this film before this week? And if you have, what are your proper experiences with it?
So I watched the movie for the first time yesterday night, and I liked it, but I'm not really sure how they consider it a horror film. I thought that it was just very realistic. I don't know.
There's it's funny. Okay, so Wikipedia classifies this as a body horror comedy, and I looked at the poster and the synopsis of the film, and I was like, oh, Amy Adams is a werewolf. That sounds pretty fun. All right, she's like a overworked mom who becomes turns into a werewolf. That sounds like it could be interesting. And of course we'll get into this later when we do the proper deep dive into the plot. But I was very surprised that this is more of a family drama with some supernatural horror adjacent elements thrown in there.
Yeah.
Because she's not even a werewolf really. She just turns into a dog.
Yeah.
And which you could say kind of makes this a werewolf adjacent product because there's a variety of there's like a variety of like horror things. Like there's like straight horror, there's like horror comedy, there's like
Right.
horror adjacent. You could classify this as horror adjacent.
Mhm.
Like I think a great example of like horror adjacent is like Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
because like it is still like Jurassic Park, like that's like an adventure film first and foremost, but there are still like, you could argue that there are like several like horrific elements. Like there's several scary things with the dinosaurs. I mean, the dinosaurs are like monsters in the film. There's tons of
Right.
deaths in there. This the Mortal Kombat games are also good like horror adjacent examples, because there's like tons of gore in there. It's very bloody, over the top, and they even have like horror killers as like DLC characters sometimes. This movie, I feel like, is probably the most like adjacent, like in terms of like horror, because even like well, I guess it's more of like a supernatural comedy than like horror, because like the only like supernatural element is that she can't turn into a dog, and I feel like I'll probably we'll get deeper into this later, but I feel like the film could work just fine without the aspect of her turning into a dog. But if she didn't turn into a dog, no one would have watched the movie.
Right.
But yeah, we'll probably dive deeper into that after we take this quick little break.
It's fun to listen to WBCU. It's fun to listen to WBCU. Just tune into 97.7 FM any time of the day or night. You're listening to WBCU.
Alrighty, welcome back. So, let's dive in properly to Nightdog. This 2024 film released by Searchlight Pictures, owned by the Walt Disney Conglomerate Corporation. So, like, what do you think of the film, Rosa?
Honestly, again, like I said earlier, I don't know how they consider it a horror film. If anything, I think that it had a very deep meaning behind everything. A lot of postpartum people, they have these strong emotions. They're stuck inside with their babies. They can't work. And I think that can be frustrating for a lot of people, and especially when you have your spouse coming in and they're like needing you to do all these things, and all you want is a break. That was a big part of the movie to me.
Yeah, like, you know, as I said earlier, this film's really a family drama, like, disguised as a supernatural comedy. Because, like, the part of the film that was really interesting to me was Amy Adams, who she's an artist who had to quit her job so that she could raise her newborn baby. And 2 years go by, and her life is going down the toilet. Like, mentally, she's like completely out of it. She's stuck doing this grind, and she wants to pursue her career and like find herself again, because she feels like she's not her person anymore. All she is just mom. But like, the thing is, like, what I find really interesting, and what I feel like a lot of lesser filmmakers would do, is that she doesn't hate the fact that she's a mother. She loves her son, and she wants to do what's best for him. She just doesn't want her child to be everything she is, because like not her entire identity. And it is especially made clear like towards the middle of the film, where she has a dinner with her old buddies from grad school, where not only does she see some people that are very well off and successful, like living single life, but one of her buddies has a child
Mm-hmm.
while also being able to pursue her career with the help of her spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like another major issue because like to be 100% honest, I went into this movie thinking that she was like a single mom doing this.
Uh-huh.
But no, the dad is still very much there, but he's always off, leaving multiple days at a time for work. And whenever he does come back for an extended period of time, he doesn't really do much.
Right.
Usually just leaving most of the job for titular Amy Adams. And like, again, something that I appreciate that like the dad's not like awful.
Mm-hmm.
He just like doesn't seem to put together like what's going on. Like
Right.
he's well meaning. Like he ultimately loves his wife and son. He just like he can't put his brain cells together, which
Right.
What I feel like a lot of people can relate to, whether they're on the side of the mom being like, why won't you do anything,
Right.
or the dad being like, well, I don't know, you didn't blatantly say it to me, because like, yeah, because like, but you know, one thing that's pretty interesting about this movie is that like, yeah, it doesn't showcase motherhood as being the worst thing in the world. Like there's
Yeah.
plenty of fun things about it, but like we do see like her like in her monologue on how like she's just kind of bored with it all,
Yeah.
and that's why it's pretty cool like later on in the film where she finally does find something that makes her happy.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get into that a little bit later. So what do we think about the kids swearing at the beginning of the movie?
I think that it's hilarious when little kids cuss.
Yeah.
Because they don't know any better. My favorite thing to do is watch TikToks and just compilations of just little kids. But it broke my heart when Amy Adams was like, I'm a terrible mother. I'm a terrible mom. Because it probably has nothing to do with her. He's just picked that up from somewhere on the TV, on the radio. But she's...
Either that or like he overheard her having a mental breakdown and thought it was something fun to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you believe in. Children swearing and not knowing what they're saying will always be hilarious.
Absolutely.
Like if it's a kid just like figuring out how to swear for the first time and they drop like the F-bomb every other word, that can be annoying. But if like some 5-year-old just says like a bunch of swears not knowing what they mean, I don't care. That's funny.
Yeah.
So like after that like scene at the library, things start to get like a little bit weird, because like, you know, we saw like the typical like domesticated issues that she's like dealing with, you know,
Right.
being a normal mom and stuff like that, and you know, be used to being an artist, and now she just wants to like not really be like all these moms in the library with their entire identity as their child.
Right.
So she suddenly goes into the bathroom and finds like weird white fur on her back.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's like some typical like I hesitate to call this movie body horror,
Mm-hmm.
which it really isn't, because like I don't understand why Wikipedia classifies this as body horror, because if it was body horror, she would be like experiencing like some pain in some way,
Mm-hmm.
like in The Fly. She really doesn't, but sorry.
I think that one of the big reasons why I would classify it as body horror is because women care so much about their image and how people see them. And when you're getting weird hair in all places and your teeth are getting sharp, that's the scariest thing possible. I can't imagine if I saw that in the mirror.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm a man, so I can't really speak for like some of the typical horrors that like a woman like yourself would have to go through on a daily basis. So it's a good thing that I got a woman on this show and not just me and a dude be like, "What's up with this?" But yeah, from that perspective, it does like make a little bit more sense for why this would be considered a body horror film in a certain way, on top of being a family drama at the same time. But yeah, like a lot like around this time is when the dad finally comes home and he starts to he kind of starts to notice like a little bit, not a whole lot, like a little bit of like her teeth looking weird and stuff like that. And like we also start to see how kind of absent he is as like both a father and a husband, kind of just expecting his wife to do absolutely everything most of the time. But because there's a scene like almost immediately after where he needs to give their baby a bath.
Yes.
And he tries to like be like, "Hey honey, you chill on the couch, I got this."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, we need soap. Oh, can you make some mac and cheese? Oh, can you go to the store and like pick up a whole ox or something like that?" Like, the amount of secondhand cringe I got from watching that scene, like it is intentionally meant to be like that. So like the movie did its job.
Yeah.
But like, bro just doesn't get it. Bro just doesn't get it. He doesn't get the fact that he's gone for like 4 days at a time, and she's left to take care of this 2-year-old all by herself.
Yeah.
And there's also a cat in the house too, so on top of that, you're taking care of an animal, so.
Right. I thought that when she made a comment when the father was leaving again on another work trip, enjoy your 4 days of full night's rest. And I think that so many people go through this where one parent is home with their child and the other is off working, or even if they're not out of town, they're still getting that full 8 hours while there's another person who is just barely scraping by.
Yeah, like they're lucky to get like 2 hours max.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the type of one to teach people how to do this, but you know, maybe it'd be a good idea. Like, I don't know, if the baby's crying in the middle of the night, you do a little bit of a rotation. Like, oh, I did it last night, you do it this time, and then I'll do it next time. Like, so not one person feels like they're doing absolutely everything. But what do I know? I'm just a single man with no kids. But like when the dad leaves for second time, that's when she starts to get noticed and loved by all the dogs, which not a bad thing, not really a bad thing at all. I mean, who doesn't like dogs unless you're a psychopath? But the dogs are like all over her, even at this point, because she's like part dog at this point. And it's also at this point where we get a little bit into her backstory, because her mother also had to put aside her dreams of being a singer to help raise her daughter. It goes into that. It goes again into that cycle of women constantly having to like put aside their goals and dreams of like to become a mother.
Right.
Because like, again, you can probably speak to this more than I can, because like there's also like the societal expectations for like, you know, women to put aside everything for their child and just put like you want to be an artist, you want to be a singer, you want to be an architect, too bad.
Right.
You have to raise this kid for 18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also kind of get a little bit of a mythological reasoning for the dog aspect. Not a whole lot, it's just like some folklore and stuff. So again, I'm not really going too much into it because the movie doesn't really go too much into it. Because it'd be too complicated if it'd be too complicated if she just gets bit by a dog and she's a werewolf now.
Right.
I guess so, but yeah, it's interesting because like just focusing on this aspect of the movie for a little bit, it's neat to say that like her mother also experienced this at the same time. But what's interesting is that she could also turn into a dog, and she would also like run around freely and just do whatever she wants late at the night when she would turn into a dog. But there was a certain point in time where she realized that she can be a mother while also do her dreams, because she still sings at the church. She's still like she's still a musician in that sense, but she's also caring for her family and trying to be the best woman and the best mother that she can. And that's just an interesting aspect. What do you think?
I do think it's interesting, and circling back to the stereotypes, there's actually someone in my family who the roles are reversed. So my cousin's wife is a nurse, and he is retired from the military. And when I first heard that she was going to continue her career and he was going to be a stay-at-home dad, I was like, that's just that doesn't sound right. But in reality, it doesn't always have to be the woman.
Yeah, like I mean there is technically like a more scientific explanation that like a lot of times like babies bond with their mothers more, which makes sense kind of, because like the mother does carry the child for 9 months, but like a lot of the times, like some kids don't really have the luxuries of having a mother, so like they tend to like gravitate towards their dad more. And even if they have a mother, that doesn't mean they have to like doesn't mean they're like, I'm all set on my mom, right? And it doesn't mean that like the mother has to like stay at home. Sometimes the dad can stay at home, or like what you're seeing a lot of the times now is that both parents are out working and pursuing their dreams while also raising a child, which in my opinion should be the ideal situation, because like I feel like the core message of this film is that like you shouldn't have to like strip yourself of your entire identity and your individuality just because you're a parent. Yeah. And like it can even go the same way for the stay-at-home dads, or like the single dads out there, as well as like the stay-at-home moms, or really just anybody who has had to put something to the side, whether that be their career or their education or their entire life, right, just to raise a child, which it shouldn't be the way, especially if like you have someone else, especially if you're able to get like a babysitter so you can attend like work or class or whatever. Yeah. And especially if like you could afford to put the kid in daycare. So, cause like I feel like there are so many options right nowadays that like a stay-at-home mom should probably be the last resort. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, with all of that being said, we're gonna go ahead and take another break, and when we return, we will discuss the latter half of the film, and we'll figure out why we have noticeably not really been talking about the supernatural aspect of this film a whole lot. So stay tuned for that.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. MAD is here to help. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. That's MADD.org.
With a host of student-run shows on Concord University Radio 97.7 FM, you can listen at almost any time and be guaranteed to enjoy. Listen anywhere by using the free WVCU app. And be sure to follow WVCU on social media to stay tuned from on and off the air.
The daily grind can leave us feeling unfulfilled, unhappy, and leave almost no time to maintain a regular exercise routine. Luckily, Concord University offers a free on-campus fitness center with state-of-the-art equipment open 7 days a week. Keeping an exercise routine has never been easier and can help students control weight, combat health conditions, and diseases.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show. So, let's go ahead and dig right into the rest of this film. So, about the halfway mark of the film, after seeing gradual transformations, we finally get to see her fully turn into a dog, which, since this is technically a werewolf film, can I just say, that's probably the worst werewolf transformation I've ever seen. I've seen Animorphs transformations that are better than that. That is so unsatisfying of a transformation. Cause I get it that like it's supposed to be like a metaphor,
Right.
and it's not like, but like, put some more effort. But when she finally does become the dog, she's fully free, and she starts to do this interesting thing where she will constantly play a game with her son where they act like dogs. Like there's a scene earlier where they just like eat mac and cheese in a grocery store like without any utensils, just eat it like a dog. And there's people around, and there's an entire montage where they do various dog related activities to the point where she buys her and her son dog bowls to eat out of, and even gets the kid a dog bed to sleep in.
Yeah.
Where like if like I get that, like, she is a dog, but like I might be taking it a little step too far with the game aspect, because this is probably one of the aspects of the film where like you can kind of understand where the husband's coming from, because like from the outside looking in, it is really weird. But yeah, it's understandable from her perspective, because this is like the first time she's really felt alive since she had a child.
Yeah. Plus
she's finally able to be free. But I also kind of got a kick out of the montage because it was set to Weird Al's Dare to Be Stupid. Those of you who are listening that don't know, I love Weird Al Yankovic, and I have a fever dream whenever one of his songs suddenly plays in a feature film, which it doesn't happen a whole lot. So please excuse me for like the next 5 minutes. I'm probably going to go on a Weird Al tangent.
That's okay.
But I was very pleased to see it. But like I actually knew in advance. I prepared myself because I knew I was gonna hear some Weird Al, because like I actually went to see him in concert about a week ago, and and he likes to show like clips from like some TV shows and movies that he's done in between like costume changes, and one of the clips was of the scene from this movie where they're singing it in the car, in which he then directly transitioned into him singing the song live in the costumes from the music video, which was a very fun thing to see live on stage, and that entire concert was just an absolute fun time, because he also sung the theme song to his Disney Channel show, Milo Murphy's Law, which I lost my mind over. That was a fun time to see live. He did most of his greatest hits. Showed plenty of clips from some sketches he's done, some movie clips, and was all around just amazing to see him put on a show like that in his mid-60s. But the funniest thing about it is that this is actually not the first time that Dare to Be Stupid has showed up in a feature film.
Mm-hmm.
The first time was, in of all things, the 1980s animated Transformers movie, where it comes absolutely out of nowhere. Because, like, most of that soundtrack is, like, very, like, rock and, like, synth inspired.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes this Oingo Boingo parody about being stupid from Weird Al Yankovic,
Yeah.
where robots are legitimately dancing to the song. Have you seen that film by any chance?
I've not.
It's a weird scene, even in context, but yeah, that's the end of the Weird Al rant of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening to my tangent. So, it's at this point in the film where, like, her dog side and human side are, like, kind of starting to, like, merge a little bit.
Right.
Where, like, she goes off in the restaurant. And at that point, she turns into, like, a dog for, I believe, the final time in the film.
Mm-hmm.
And she kills the cat because, yeah, that's the only death in this horror film.
Mm-hmm.
The cat. Because even in a film that's, like, very loosely horror, you still gotta kill the animal.
Yeah.
I always, because, like, in horror media especially, I always kind of, like, dread whenever I see a cat or a dog because I know they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Cause like you know that, like, have you seen the trailers for that film Good Boy?
I have not.
Like, you've at least heard of it, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like this ghost possession film
Uh-huh.
shot from the perspective of a dog
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
house.
I
watching.
have.
Yeah, he's just watching his owners, like, get, like, possessed or
Yes.
something like that. I'm probably terrified to watch that because I don't know what's gonna happen to the dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it comes out this weekend, and,
Uh-huh.
like, I don't want to see a horror movie where, like, the main character's a dog and the dog dies.
Yeah.
So, but, like, you know, maybe it's like a masterpiece or something. I don't know,
Maybe.
but, like, it could be. But yeah, even in a film like this, where, like, it has super light horror elements,
Right.
the pet has to die. But that's why I when I saw A Quiet Place day one, I was really happy when the cat lived.
Yes. Well, I feel like her killing the cat is maybe symbolic of that's just another added stressor onto everything that she's got going on. And
like on top of, like, having to do all this thing with the
Right.
kid, she has to take care of her husband's cat. Because
Yes.
she doesn't really like the cat. Her husband does.
yeah. Yeah. So she's just got to get that out of her life.
And so, like, but, like, her killing the cat is kind of like the straw that breaks the camel's back. Because
Right.
after that, she doesn't turn into a dog for the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, like, when the husband comes home, they get in a big fight about it, and she just spells it out how much she's feeling, which he admits that he hasn't noticed, which is a shame because, like, we forgot to mention this earlier, but she mentioned how she was thinking about quitting art, and he was like, whatever you want.
Yeah.
But what she wanted to it's not what she wanted to hear. She wanted to
Right.
hear, pursue your dreams, girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they get in a big fight and they decide to split up for a little bit.
Yeah.
And the rest of the movie is just this family drama of just bump the mic there. It's just this family drama of watching them trying to figure out, like, both the mother trying to figure out her sense of self again and get back into her art and her career, and the father really being a dad for the first time.
Yeah.
Because he's living in an apartment for a while, and it's really the first time he's been, like, alone with his son.
Mm-hmm. He's finally having to see how she feels. He's in her shoes now.
Yeah, and by the end of the film, when he drops off the son back at her place, she's like, I understand everything. I understand what you were going through.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the film, when he comes to her art show, and because, like, at this point, like they're friendly. Like they don't hate each other,
Right.
but that they're friendly. He admits that like he was at fault for like letting her do this, because this is after seeing what she was missing out on for all those years. And they get back together, and it's a nice heartwarming moment. They're family again, and they have another kid.
Yeah.
Which is like not the direction I was expecting this film to go. Because but like it's a nice happy slappy moment.
Yeah.
Not much to complain about there. Although I do have a couple complaints though.
Okay.
A lot of the times we do get into like her inner monologue where like she's speaking.
Yes.
I don't think all of those are really necessary. Like once or twice is fine, but like a lot of the times like she's spelling out what we can see, in particular with the flashbacks. Like film's a visual medium, and we're not an audience of 2-year-olds like your sons, so you don't have to explain that with the narration.
Yeah.
Like the moments where we see her point of view, where she's like lashing out on someone, that is like, those are good, because it like we dig deep into like her perspective and how she wishes to react. But like the moments where it's like just her narration, I feel like could be cut. Additionally, I feel like the supernatural aspects have been, and I said this before, are kind of tacked on. Like, I guess I get the like. It's supposed to be like a metaphor. It's supposed to be a metaphor for how like a lot of the times, some women can be described as animals.
Right.
So whether it's because of their hormones when they're pregnant or on their period or anything like that. So like when they're alone, they can let their true animals go out. It's good. But like, I don't know. I feel like the actual like supernatural elements of this film kind of don't like. They don't affect the movie enough. Like I wanted.
Yeah.
Like for a movie that's promoted as Amy Adams is a dog, turns into a dog. I kind of wanted to see like the dog aspect play more into the plot, which it does. I just would have wanted to see more. Like it's not entirely pointless. It has a point to it. I just wanted to see more of it.
Yeah.
Just, like I wanted to see a scene where like I don't know, the husband walks in and sees his wife turning into a dog.
Right.
But she's just gonna live with this secret forever, basically. Which, fine, but like it's like watching The Wolfman and like nobody figures out that like, oh, that's my man. It's a wolf.
Right.
It's a man.
Right.
Which, and yeah, I know this isn't like a straight up. This isn't really a horror film or even really a werewolf film at all. But like, it would have been nice to like have the supernatural elements like be more present than they are. But I don't know. What do you think?
I definitely think that if they had added some more supernatural elements, like people witnessing her as a dog, it definitely could have deepened the meaning a lot more. Like I said, with her killing the cat, those frustrations, there are a lot of things that dogs do that I feel like if humans could do, we would probably be a lot less anxious, like taking the time to dig a hole or something like that.
Digging a hole, running around in the middle of the night, just getting filthy.
Yeah.
Just all that stuff like that. Like the dog symbolism is really like a symbol of freedom, because like, what's more free than an animal running in an open field?
Well, and they live for themselves.
Yeah.
So. They're
Yeah.
not worried about pleasing other people, or of course they love their owners and they're there when they need them to be, but they do those things because that's what makes them happy.
Yeah, like my dog would probably be fine without me, but like my dog likes me, and my dog knows that I'm the one who gives her food
Yep.
and gives her the belly rubs. So, and she likes those things. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, with all of that being said, Rosa, how would you rate this film, Nightdog,
Mhm.
on a scale of 1 to 5? With 1 being just a giant Pooh Bear, and with 5 being a nice, shining castle.
I'm definitely gonna go in the middle there, maybe a 3 out of 5, just because of the symbolism, the metaphorical meanings behind all of it. I think those are great. I think it's important for people who are analytical to see how it really is postpartum, I guess. But I do think if they're gonna call it a horror movie, they need to add some more scary stuff.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really have to be like scary.
Yeah.
It can still be like supernatural.
Yeah.
Like there's a difference between like horror and supernatural.
Yeah.
You can still like qualify it as being like spooky, like ooh,
Yeah.
it's a werewolf.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't asking for gore. I just wanted the supernatural elements to be more present.
Right.
And that's why I probably give this a 3 too.
Mhm.
Because like what works about the film works really well. Like it does have like some great thematical elements of it. The message is very timely, very relevant.
Yeah.
And a lot of women especially can relate to this. But you know, looking at it as like a supernatural comedy drama, it's not very strong with the supernatural elements at all. But like it's great for a metaphorical perspective, but like as a whole, I do think it could be stronger. Plus, additionally, some of the narration is unnecessary. But
Yes.
overall, I still think that it's a decent watch. And
Yeah.
yeah, if any of you guys are listening, you can stream the film on Hulu if you would like to give it a watch. And that will be it for this week's episode of the Happiest Cast on Earth, our first ever Halloween episode. Rosa, thank you so much for coming on to the show. It was an absolute blast having your perspective on everything. And do you have anything to plug? Where can the audience find you?
I am on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. I communicate mostly on those. And yeah, so thanks for having me. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share my input.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. And please be sure to join me next time, everybody, where we will take a look at another Halloween-related item, also from Fox. And this is definitely going to be on the more horror side of things, because we will be looking at the first episode of the 6th season of American Horror Stories. So definitely stay tuned for that. But until then, I will see you later. Bye.
When you wear a shirt, make the difference.